Hello, everybody. Hello, hello. Hello, everybody out there. Hello, hello. It's Mary Z, Easy Recipes. Mary Z, Easy Recipes. Welcome, welcome, everybody. Welcome to the live stream. It's Mary Z, Easy Recipes. Welcome, welcome, everybody to the live stream. Welcome, everybody. It's Friday today. Welcome. Oh no, it's not Friday. It's Saturday today. Welcome everybody to the live stream. Welcome, welcome. And I am inviting everybody to come to the live stream. So welcome. It's a good day today. It's a Saturday. Just come in and just and have and just have a look at what is happening in the live stream. Come in, come in. I am inviting, people just to join in. Join in. Today is a beautiful day, another beautiful day. Join in, join in, join in. So, welcome to my live stream. Welcome, everyone. Welcome to this lovely live stream. It's a Saturday today. It's a good day today. Welcome everybody. We are just here to chat, to chat, to chat, to chat. We are here to chat, and we are happy to be here today. This evening, we're just happy to be here this evening. Welcome everybody. Welcome everybody. Just join in, join in, join in. Feel free to join in. Feel free. So my name is Mary Z Easy Recipes, and I'm happy to host this live stream today. We have a guest just come in. It's Daniel, Daniel, uh, Daniel Donadio, Daniel Donadio. Hello, Daniel. Hello, Daniel. Welcome to the live stream, Daniel. I welcome you with open arms and feel free to be part of the audience. Feel free to be part of the audience. I welcome you with open arms. And how are you? And Daniel is coming and was saying hi. So Daniel came in with some greetings, which is awesome. We also have another guest joining in. It's Robert Patrick. Hello, 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 Robert Patrick. Robert Patrick is saying hi. That's amazing, coming with greetings. That's beautiful. We also have Alamini Slam. Alamini Slam. Hello, Alamin Slam. How are you? And how was your day? And Robert Patrick is saying, how is your day? My day is fantastic. It has been very good. How about yours? How was your day, Robert? How was your day? And Alamin Slam is saying, where are you from? Oh, I'm in the UK. What about you? Where are you from? Alamin Islam. Alamin Islam. And Robert is saying, oh, his day has been very good. He's saying good, which is what we would like to hear. So Robert had a good day. I had a good day. Let's hope all the other people joining in had good times today. So we are really happy today. And Robert Patrick says, I'm from Scotland. Wow, lovely, lovely to have people from Scotland. That's really beautiful. Scotland, I heard, is a very beautiful, country. And I hope one day I will manage to visit Scotland. I've seen the hills of Scotland, beautiful landscape, and I really like, the country. It is really awesome. So, which city are you near, Robert? Which city do you live near to in Scotland? Which city is near your home? So that's Robert Patrick. Um, and we also had Jesse 19107. He said, "Good evening, ma'am. Good evening, Jesse. How are you today, Jesse? How are you today, Jesse?" So as you come in, you are free to tell us where you are connecting from, and you can also tell us the cities or towns and close by where you live. You can tell us your cities or towns or your countries. All is okay. So Jessie is saying good evening, and I said to her, "Good evening, Jessie. How are you? And how was your day?" Because the time now is nearly here where I am. It's like 2010, which is 10 minutes past 8. We also have Mose Gump. Mose Gump. Hello, Mose Gump. Mose Gump is saying hi. And I'm saying to him, hello. And he said again, hello, which is awesome. How are you, Mose Gump? And how was your day today? I hope you had a good day. How was your day? So everyone in the chat, you can tell us how your day was, and you can tell us, where you are connecting from, and you can tell us, a lot more things, of which you want to share with us. So we are really happy today. It's another live stream on a beautiful evening like this. Another live stream, which is awesome. So you can tell us lots of things. You can tell us like 4 things. Where are you connecting from? And the other one, which one is the city or town near your house or near where you live? And the other one, you can tell us your favorite hobbies. And the other one, you can share anything favorite, like if you have a favorite pet, a favorite sport, a favorite maybe a hobby. We also have it's not me. Hello, it's not me. It's not me is saying hi. And it's not me is saying hello. It's not me is saying hello. Ooh, I don't know what that means. So he's greeting us, greetings from members of the audience. So we are really happy. As you come in, tell us your nearest town or city. Nearest town or city. Also, you can, if you like, you can tell us your favorite hobby. Tell us your favorite hobby so that we know what's going on out there. Favorite hobby. Oh, you can tell us. What else can you tell us? You can tell us your. Maybe you have like pets. Do you have a favorite pet? Some people love to keep cats. Some people love to keep dogs. So just tell us if you have any favorite pets. Oh, you can tell us. What's the other nice thing to tell us? You can tell us if you have maybe a favorite food. It will be also wonderful for us to know your favorite food or your favorite, maybe drink, favorite food, something like that. So we are really happy today. We are going to have a wonderful live stream and just enjoy the evening together. So that's what we are going to do. We are going to be enjoying the evening together. And yeah. So anyone ready to tell us all those things? Anyone ready? to tell us how they spend their spare time. How do you spend your spare time? How do you spend your spare time? How do you spend your spare time? It will be beautiful if we know about that. So we are really happy today. We are happy to be having people in the live stream. I can just give myself a quick introduction. My name is Mary Z Easy Recipes. I, you know, I have hobbies. My hobbies are, I have 4 hobbies. My hobbies are cooking, gardening. What else do I like to do? I like to cooking, gardening. I like music and watching films. I also like selling little things, like little vases, or I can sell um, little picture frames, or I can sell some little bangles, or some little beads, things like that, which are not like gigantic, just little items. And why do I sell? I sell because it is a hobby. And how often do I sell? It's unpredictable. Sometimes you can sell maybe 1 item per month, or sometimes you might sell two. If you sell 2 items in a month, that means you are very lucky, you know. So those are my hobbies. So I can quickly explain these hobbies. So with cooking, I love cooking. Because I'm always like cooking, and because I also want to showcase my cooking skills. I have cooking skills. I want to do the mixing, the beating, the chopping. So I always love to showcase my cooking skills on my channel. So I can cook like anything which comes to my mind. And I can cook vegetarian dishes. I can cook like meat dishes. I can cook, what else? I can do some amazing soup. I love soup so much, especially during this winter. If you have a bowl of soup, you keep a bit warm for some time before the cold creeps in again. We have another guest in the house. That is, black people are the chosen war of God. Welcome, Black. Welcome to the live stream. I'm really happy to have you again in the live stream. That is really kind of you. I always say, oh, it's really a privilege to have people coming to your live stream, because in the house there are endless things to do. For example, as for me, it's like if it's weekend, when I wake up, I will start doing all sorts of things. And at times my feet end up aching, because I'm always like on my feet. I always find something to do. It's either I'm folding clothes, I'm saying, oh, let me straighten this with an iron. Oh, let me wash this. This maybe dishcloth. Oh, maybe let me, like, oh, I've seen there like things piling in the corner. Let me just like put them in a new place. So I do allocation, allocation never ending. So I end up like my feet hurting, because I'm just like a globe trotter, trotting in the house, from corner to corner. So the reason why I'm saying this is because people have lots of things to do in the homesteads. And if you find some people coming to your live stream, you need just to respect those people and give them the due credit. So black people say, Mary Z, easy recipes. Good afternoon and blessings to you. Yeah, I know where you are in the north of America, you are still in the afternoon. But here, do you know what, black? It's now 19 minutes past 8 in the night. We are going towards night. We only have like 4 hour, 3 hour, 3 point something hours to go into to get into midnight. So we are really ahead of your time. But anyway, it's good, those are the time zones. They call them the different time zones. So I was just explaining that, oh, people, just tell us your hobbies and tell us the cities near where you live, if you like. It's just like if you like to share. Or you can tell us these favorite things like hobbies, favorite games, favorite food, and you can even tell us like your favorite. What else is favorite? There's lots of favorites. You can talk about if you like a certain kind of maybe transport, or like if you want to go to the city, if you live far away from the city. Like me, I live far away from the city. So I might say, oh, well, which transport can I use to go to the city? So I will say, oh, I wouldn't like to go by car because of the hassles there. So I would say, oh, I would rather, go catch the train and down I am in the city. So we always talk about favorites. Maybe some people also, someone was asking me, what's your favorite color? Color. Oh, people have favorite colors. And as for me, I think my favorite color, it might be, which color? I think white. I sort of like white. And although sometimes it's really hard to wear white like all the time because of the seasons. Because they say if you wear something dark colors, they don't reflect like something like that. So like when it's winter time, you see most people do wear like dark colors. So on a cold day, then you wear a white dress. No, sometimes people just do the dark colors. I am saying on average. Although there are some people who just maintain the white color out throughout the year, which is fine, which is really fine. So I was just explaining about cooking, about cooking as a hobby. That yeah, I like cooking, and I can cook anything. But I also have some like favorite recipes which I sometimes do, because I usually like cooking which doesn't go like for like more than 2 hours. I don't really like cooking which takes a long time. So usually I choose easier ingredients. There are some you can come up with a meal using easier ingredients. For example, recently I cooked some beans, you know, because I like beans because they have lots of. The dietitians say beans have lots of protein. Oh, we have a new guest in the house. Chana Z's twist says hello, sis. And Chana Z's twist is saying like number 5. Wow. Thank you, Chana Z. How was your day, Chana Z? I hope you had a wonderful day today. And, thank you so much for turning up for the live stream. Yeah, it's lovely to have, friends coming in and, so that's the way to go. We always support one another, which is beautiful. Chana Z says, welcome. Yeah, she's saying welcome. And Shana Z says, I am well, sis. Oh, lovely to hear that. So how the weekend has been good with Chana Z. Yeah, this is really awesome. So we are, and Black People is saying, Chana Z twist, hello and blessings. Yeah, that's a lovely message from Black. And Chana Z is saying, how about you? My weekend has been very good. It has been fine and wonderful. And Chana Z is greeting Black and saying, hey, bro, Black. And that is beautiful. Greeting each other is, is our way of life, That's our way of life, We always greet each other, and which makes everything beautiful. So we are happy today. We are saying, oh, you can tell us your find, and you can always tell us about your favorites. If you want to talk about favorite clothes, favorite sport, favorite food, anything favorite. Today it's a free favorite. So anyone who is free to mention their favorites, you are free to do that. So we are not restricting. Oh, let's ask our favorite hobby. No, today is a favorite everything, you know. So I can start by saying, oh, my favorite car. If I were to dream of a car, my favorite car maybe would be which car? I'm still thinking about the car. Or if I said, oh, let me give my favorite color. So I said, oh, my favorite color is white, like white is in color. And if someone asks me, what's your favorite, type of a house? Which one is your favorite? Then of course I would say, oh, my favorite should be a mansion. And maybe I want to talk about a favorite sport. I would say, oh, my favorite sport is football. you know and if I want to tell my friends about my favorite holiday destination, maybe I would say, oh, I want to try to go to South America. Maybe there's something I will see there, countries of maybe Chile, maybe Colombia, maybe which is the other country, Brazil, Argentina, just examples. So we can give favorite holiday destinations, or some can say, oh, which one is your favorite, like season, season, which is a favorite season. So we have only hope is in prayer is here, and she is saying, if you are enjoying the channel's contents, hit that like button, show support, share this out, and subscribe. Wow, what a beautiful message. So this is a motivational, like encouragement to the audience to do what only hope is in prayer is urging us to do. Thank you so much, Only Hope is in Prayer, for gracing, the live stream with a beautiful message. I really appreciate that, and I know you are the one of the number one supporters, which is really extremely, extremely awesome. So we are just saying, oh, you can tell us any of your favorites. Maybe you have a favorite season. As for me, my favorite season is I like just after winter. I like spring. I like spring. The reason why I like spring is that it's just the time maybe to just offload your heavy jackets and your heavy coats, because the winter will just be going. So it's just time, it's like a grace period where you are now saying, oh, is it me going out without a jacket, or is it me going out in sandals? So I like spring, and the leaves will be just coming out back again, because now they had some trees have already completely lost all the leaves, and some of the trees are still having like a few of leaves hanging there. But I think by the time we go to end of November, in 2 weeks time, all the deciduous trees would have lost their leaves. So the leaves will just be dormant. The trees will just be dormant and just maybe, waiting for the time to warm up, which is spring. And spring is awesome. I like spring. So this is about favorites, favorites, favorites. So I've talked about favorite cooking, and I've talked about favorite weather, that I like spring. And you can also talk about favorite holiday destination. I've just given an example that maybe you like to go South America, maybe you like to go to Arizona, maybe you like to go to Adelaide, or maybe you like to go to Toronto, or maybe you like to go to which one is this city? To Delhi, or maybe you want to go um, to the big city, New York City, New York City. Or maybe you want just to fly down to London, those are holiday resorts. Or maybe you want to go to Dubai or to Paris or to Rome, So all those are, holiday destinations. People have favorites. So sometimes when you have a favorite, maybe it's just like among your dream. We could talk about dream something. So you're free to just say, oh, my holiday destination is Istanbul. Istanbul. There's one called Istanbul. So you might say that as well. It doesn't mean that definitely you are going there. It will be maybe just a dream, and then maybe you never know with circumstances. Then you can say, "Oh, that dream has now come true. I'm going to Istanbul in January." Which will be really awesome. We have Sophia. Sophia. Hello, Sophia. Sophia is saying hello. Oh, lovely to have you here, Sophia. And your name is awesome. It is a beautiful name. So we are welcoming you, Sophia, into the live stream. And feel free to tell us about any favorite of yours, whether it's a sport, whether it's a pet, whether it's a holiday destination, whether it's a dressing code. There's something called the dressing code. I didn't know, but now I heard people say, oh, what's the dressing code? For example, this happens when you want to attend a wedding, and people usually say, oh, we want the guest to dress like in this way, or when you want to attend maybe a christening or even a birthday, celebration. Some nowadays people will just tell the people, oh, I want you to come dressed in this dress code. Or they'll say, oh, no t-shirts. I don't know what's wrong with t-shirts. There's one which I attended, and they said, oh, we don't want t-shirts. All we want is like formal dressing. So what's the formal dressing? So we need to have some favorites, when it comes to dressing, and when it comes to dressing, colors, and even favorite music. you know it's like when you attend a birthday, like people are having a birthday party or another party, you see people saying, oh, I don't like that song, please stop playing that song, just because they have their favorite. Oh, we have another guest coming in. It's Ishwa Moment. Ishwa Moment. It's Moment. He likes to be called Moment. Yeah, that's good. So Moment is saying hi all, and he's saying, remember, it's Moment. Oh, that's good. Moment to remind us about your name. So you are welcome in the live stream. It's very nice to have you here, and feel free to chat and to join in the conversation and to join in the panel. We are a panel at the moment. So I'm really happy that we have guests coming in. So I've talked about cooking when we just explaining about favorites, and I've talked about like holiday destinations. Let me talk about the other, my other hobby. My other hobby is Mama is saying, yeah, I remember it's Mama. My other hobby is like gardening. I like gardening. So maybe someone would say, okay, since do you like gardening, what are the favorite crops what are your favorite crops? Then I would say, oh, my favorite crop, if I'm doing gardening, I like to grow pumpkins, and I've noticed that, pumpkins have different, like varieties. So I like to grow like orange pumpkins and dark green pumpkins, and I also like to grow like off green. There's some of them which are like off green, and there's some of them which are like striped. So I love growing pumpkins. And the other crop I love to grow is like cucumbers. Cucumbers are also like I've seen three varieties of cucumbers. There's one which grows very, very long, the one we usually find in the supermarkets. It grows to about 30 centimeters or 45 centimeters. That one is the common variety. Then there are like small, small ones which grow up to about 15 centimeters. And I prefer the small, small ones, to the long ones, you know because the small small ones are like dense and they have lots of flavor. When you chew them, they are so crunchy and you really enjoy them. The ones which are about 10 to 12 centimeters. And I noticed that there's also one which is like, if you see it, you'd think it's a round, it's a round one, a round cucumber. These are just new varieties, which are now out there. So, but my favorite is the smaller, about 10 to 12 centimeters of length. That's my favorite. So I like to grow pumpkins and cucumbers. And I think, let me mention four. The other crop I like to grow is tomatoes, because tomatoes, they just bring you like they make you like feel like you've achieved something. That time when they get ripe, when they are now red, you see all of them are red on the tree. It is just exciting. So I like the exciting bit of growing tomatoes. And I like those ones which are called beef steak tomatoes, because they are so beautiful. They are like, they have like little compartments, and they can grow even big, so big, that you can even use like only one when you are doing like a saving. Like, it's like when you have a family of like four, you can save one big tomato, for breakfast, which is really awesome. And we have Vicky Harvey. Hello, Vicky Harvey. Hello, Vicky Harvey. Lovely to have you here today, Vicky. And Vicky is visiting us again. She says, Mary Z, that stream I've come across in the last few days. Hope we are doing well. Oh, lovely, lovely Vicky. That is very, what can I say? I love your courtesy of coming back. That's showing courtesy of coming back and supporting the channel. So you are welcome, Vicky Harvey, and feel free to, we are just, trying to, what I'm trying to do is, I'm trying just to, they call it, what do they call it? Maybe to evoke, maybe that's the word, or just to incite people so that they can tell us their favorite things. So that's what we are waiting for. We want them to just like poking people, so that in a nice way, so that people can tell us their favorites. I talked about why I like cooking. I've talked about why I like gardening, and I've mentioned the four crops which I like pumpkins, cucumbers, tomatoes. Oh, there's one more left. The fourth one I like is which one? Oh, I love to grow beetroot, because beetroot is resilient. It will just be there in the garden, and it will just, in no time, it will just, have the roots. I think they call them roots. It's beetroot. So the thing, the roots, the underground thing, we call it the root, the beetroot, that fruit. It will just stay there in the garden, and you can just harvest it, for quite a considerable time. That's why I love beetroot. So those are my four favorite fruits. I mean, vegetables. I like pumpkin, growing pumpkins, and I like tomatoes, and I like cucumbers, and beetroot, and beetroot. And the other thing I like about beetroot is that it doesn't bother you really when you grow beetroot. It doesn't really bother you as long as you give it the. It doesn't like clay soil. It likes loose sort of loam soil, and when it has the bulb under the root, it will just stay there. If there are no pests, it will just stay there and continue to increase in size. That's why I love beetroot. It doesn't bother you. It doesn't really complain much, like other plants. Some of the plants in the garden, oh dear, they give you they are challenging. For example, if you grow like some types of kale, it is challenging. Even some types of cabbage, because those are favorites for the pests. And you have to be on your toes all the time. You try to say, oh, what can I do with these slugs are coming? Oh, these the aphids have now are now attacking the cabbages. So you're always on your toes, trying to sort out the pests. And but when it comes to beetroot, it is attacked by some sort of underground worms, and it's not really like they are not really plenty, you know, you know, plenty of pests which attack beetroot. Maybe because beetroot is a little bit bitter. Maybe that's why they don't really attack. The same applies to onion. Onion is rarely attacked by pests, because of the acid. Is it acid? Enzyme in onion, yeah, enzyme. So Vicky Harvey is saying, oh, giving us some hellos. And Vicky Harvey said, hi, and giving us some hugs and some likes. And she continues to say hi, which is awesome. So I've talked about cooking, I've talked about gardening favorites, and I talked about, now the last thing I need to talk about is like selling little items. Why I like selling? Why is selling my favorite? The reason why I like selling little items is that it's not like when the little things sometimes I sell. Maybe I sell like after 1 month. Then someone said, oh, they like maybe some beads, and maybe after 2 months, even 4 months, like in a year, I might sell like just two items. So it doesn't give me too much pressure. It's just like a pastime, and I enjoy it. The day when someone says, oh, I like to buy that, maybe it's a small book or a comic, then I'll say, oh, at last that book is someone is liked the book. Let me just post it. So it's just the excitement it brings, and that's why I love that. Oh, we have a new guest in the house. That's Lucy Warren's World. Hello, Lucy Warren's World. It's lovely to have you in the live stream, and feel free to join this chat. Feel free to tell us anything which is your favorite. Maybe you say, oh, my favorite car is maybe maybe it's what's this car? I forget this car. It's a type of a sports car. I always forget it. It's not a Bentley, but it's another one. Sports car. I forgot it. So maybe you could say, oh, my favorite car is a Bentley. It is good to have favorite cars. It is good to have, like, I always to say those things are like dream cars and dream houses. What else? Dream holidays and dream holiday destinations. And what else? Maybe You want to go on a safari, dream safari, when you want to go on a dream safari to see the lions and the elephants in real life, that can be also, you like going on a safari. Some people like hiking. Maybe you want to go hiking in the Amazon basin, or you want to go hiking in the like some of the equatorial regions. You know, so that is really nice to always have um, some aspirations, some hopes, some dreams, some favorite things which you maybe you never know. One day the dream will come true and you'll find yourself maybe exploring the Grand Canyon or exploring, you'll be canoeing. Maybe I don't know if they do canoeing along the Mississippi River. I don't know. Maybe you go on the boat, maybe port of course, because it should be it's not like a calm river, because when the rivers are big, like big rivers, they are not calm, usually they are like, you need like a working boat, or to sail along the Mississippi River, you know. So we always should tell our friends, our families, our favorite things we like. So today we are just going to talk about weather. Weather. We are talking about weather today. And before we go to the actual, topic of today, we also need to know, why is weather important to us? We should always be aware of weather. Why should we always be aware of weather? I always like to it's like sometimes when I watch the news, I forget about everything else, like what the news reporters are saying. What sometimes I just concentrate on the weather. Just say, oh, let me find out what is the weather like tomorrow. I love to know about the weather, because like the Met Office, they are always reporting, in all countries of the world. There is a department called the Meteorological Department, or in short, it's called the Met Office. They are always reporting about weather. Whether you are in America, you have the Met Office. Whether you are in China, whether you are in Malaysia, in Russia, in Poland, in South Africa, in what's this one? Nigeria, or in Colombia, they are Met Offices. So the Met Offices function is just to give us a weather. They say it weather warning. Sometimes they give us weather warnings. The weather warning is when the weather is expected to be a bit drastic, and sometimes they just give us a general weather, when they just say, oh, tomorrow there will be plenty of sunshine, and there will be like light drizzle, and there will be, what else? There will be slight wind blowing. Maybe the wind will be going at maybe 7 miles per hour. It is slight wind blowing, and maybe there's blue skies. Those are just when the Met Office reports such weather. It's just the the weather which people expect. Calm. Calm weather. But sometimes they give weather warning. The Met Office, can give us weather warning. For example, they might say, tomorrow there's going to be like a storm Claudia. That's what they were saying yesterday. They were saying maybe there's going in the United Kingdom. There's going to be, like storm Claudia is going to be affecting some places, which happened today. Some places today were affected by storm Claudia, and some places had floods. I saw on the news some towns were flooded, and people were just struggling to go on safer ground, so that they are safe from the floods. So those are weather warning. So the Met Office give us weather warnings about floods, about storms, about heavy rainfall, about strong winds and hurricanes. What else? Yeah, floods, hurricanes, strong winds, um, and what else do they give us? Thunder. There will be thunder and lightning. Thunderstorms. They call them thunderstorms. So those are weather warnings. So when we hear about the weather warnings, yeah, we need to take them into consideration and to try and see what we can do. Maybe because no one will ever know how strong those adverse weather conditions will be. We don't know. So we just need to take heed and to, yeah, just to be aware and take a bit of, I don't know what we can do. But the weather is unpredictable. It is really unpredictable. Although the Met Office gives us warnings, and maybe the weather, the storms will be, heavy, and it will be difficult again to stay safe sometimes. And weather conditions can be challenging. They can be challenging. Like what happened today. I saw places here being flooded. Uh, Although we're given the warning that there's going to be a storm cloud here, but still, even if you get a warning, sometimes where will you go? You just hope that when the storm cloud here comes, maybe it won't affect your house or your shelter. So that's all. That's what I can say about the weather. Weather warning. Those are weather warning. So, as for today, I was just checking the weather where I am. The It was overcast all day. We didn't see any blue sky, not anymore. I don't know for how long. So since yesterday and today again, there was overcast all day, and there was like drizzle, on and off drizzle, on and off drizzle. And the temperatures were ranging from like 11 degrees to 12 degrees, like sort of average the whole day. China Z is giving us some love and some hugs. Thank you, China Z, for that. So we are just talking about the weather, and you can also tell us what the weather was where you are. So I am saying it was cloudy, overcast. Temperatures were like 11 and 12 degrees Celsius, and there was showers. Now and again showers would come. So, and the weather was cooling. Since morning it has just been cooling down, cooling down. It's So what do people do? They just have to keep warm. Try by all means to keep warm because of the temperature changes. So all this I'm saying is about climate. That is climate. The climate is the one which gives us weather. Climate. It's like average. What is it like? What is it like? What's the climate in Arizona? What's the climate in Canada? It means the average. How are the temperatures usually? That's what we mean by climate. So climate is the average temperature and what type of rain rains there, the rainfall and sunshine. Do you have like when you go into summer? Do you have like long periods of sunshine? So that is what we know as climate. Climate is about the type of rainfall, the type of sunshine received, and also the type of like temperatures, in a place. That's what you call climate. So what affects climate? It depends with the position of the country. If a country is like in the Sahara, like parts of Egypt, is it Egypt? I don't know which country. Chad. I think it's Chad. So, if a country is like the part of a desert, that means that area is like hot temperatures, and that area, that is the climate. In that area, rarely has in like rainfall. So the rainfall will come, but it's the ground, after the rains, it easily go dry again. So there are like three types of regions. We know of the equatorial region. Those are the countries like close to the equator. And when you hear the word equatorial, we just think of the sun. They say, oh, the sun sits on the equator, and countries along the equator have like high temperatures. Usually, when they are in their summertime, the temperatures are really high. And we also have tropical. Tropical, it means these countries are like close to the tropical of Capricorn, somewhere there. And the tropical countries are like warm countries. Countries like, I think most of the countries in Africa are tropical, and south of the equator, and maybe India, I think, if I'm not mistaken, should be tropical. Asian countries like India, Bangladesh, and Pakistan, and China, you know, they are like tropical. They are warm countries. And we have temperate. It is like average, like European countries, like United Kingdom, and these countries of Europe, Scotland, and so on. They are like temperate. Then we have regions. Polar means, like countries, like the parts of the Arctic, Arctic Circle, and the Antarctic. Arctic is in the north part of the world. And Antarctic is the southern part. So those countries have like polar. That means there's lots of like snow falling there in the polar regions, like the Arctic region. There's lots of snow which falls there. I think Iceland is part of the Arctic. Yeah, it's a lot of snow falls there, like in Iceland and Greenland. Yeah, there's a country called Greenland. Yeah, and maybe north of Canada, something like that. If I'm not mistaken, there's lots of snow. Those like they are near the polar region of the Arctic Circle. So all that is all about climate. So what's your climate, Harry? What type of climate do you have where you are? What type of climate do you have? Yeah, we must have an idea of our climates so that we are aware, and if adverse weather occurs, you know, in case adverse weather occurs, we should always be on the alert. And just when you watch the news, also don't forget to watch the Met Office report, the weather report, just to have an idea. Oh, we know that, however, even if the Met report sometimes the weather will just give us surprises, but most of the time the Met Office will tell us what weather to expect. They always they're experts there. They're always really, we call them what name do we give to those guys? They are called meteorologists. The meteorologists are always like accurate somehow. Yeah, they give us, some hints, some weather warnings at times. So that's why we need to listen to the weather reports, and take action. For example, as for me, if if I listen to the weather report today, that tomorrow there's going to be winds, strong winds, and there's going to be rainfall and thunderstorms. If I plan to go to the garden tomorrow, that means I have to cancel that trip to the garden, because I will say, I don't want to be caught in the rain. And then I'll say, there will be other days. So I'll postpone the visit to the garden and then try another day. But sometimes they might say, there will be like a rain, just drizzle. Maybe then I go to the garden, and then maybe the drizzle will affect me as well. So yeah, you need to know what is going on and make decisions. China Z is giving us some hugs and some likes. Wow, beautiful. That is really awesome. And China Z is supporting with the hugs and likes. And Lucy is giving us some love as well. Lucy is giving us some love as well. So the main the goal today is just to just be aware of the weather and take action sometimes. Like for example, here in this part of the world, we are in autumn. Autumn is about to finish, so the next season coming is winter. So the winters over here, they are really, sometimes they get so cold. It's like today I'm just wearing a sleeveless uh, top, but when it's winter, there's no way I wear a sleeveless top. You just have to wear a long sleeved top, top, because the temperatures will dip. Sometimes they really go down, and that you need to dress yourself in warm clothes. You need to dress yourself in warm clothes. So the other objective today is just to ask ourselves that, how do we make ourselves warm? How do we keep warm when winter comes? I can say the winters in the southern hemisphere, like in the southern hemisphere, like in South America, in Africa, in parts of southern Africa, and the winters, they have winter, some of the countries, but they are not as cold as the winters up north here, like in the temperate regions, like like France, America, United States of America, Canada, United Kingdom, these temperate regions. The winters here are colder than the winters in other parts of the world. So this question is of how to keep warm. How do we keep warm when winter comes? How do we keep warm? We need to keep warm, because if we don't keep warm, it will affect our, cold usually affect our health. So we need to try and keep warm. Uh, so there are many ways we can keep warm when winter comes. There are many ways. So the first it's just like tips. We need just to give each other tips. On a cold day, what do you do? So when sometimes what people do sometimes, if you are like you are like financial stable, I've seen some people doing that. When winter comes, they start saying, we need to buy like a bedding, bedding for winter. So people, some people do buy like different bedding, for winter. But as for me, I don't I don't really mind. If I just use my normal bedding, I don't have like, although I might have maybe one or two winter like bedding, but I don't really mind. As long as the bed covers are still good and clean, I just use any I mean cotton ones. So some people don't like to use like the the cool cotton bed 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 linen. They don't like to use those in winter. They like to use the fleece one, or the cotton, but in like which look like fleece, for winter. So people will go and buy like thicker duvets. They buy thicker blankets. They buy winter linen for the beds. And what else do they buy? Yeah, they do buy those things. Different bed linen. Yajivu Ripasedi is saying, it is 11 and you are awake in the cold. Oh, yeah, I know. Where are you connecting from, Yajivu? Welcome to the live stream, Yajivu. Yajivu. Ripu Zadi. Hello, Yajivu. You are welcome to the live stream. You are saying it is 11. Oh, where you are, it's 11. Oh, that's good then. Here it is like 9 o'clock. And Sheldon World is here as well. Sheldon is saying is back. Hello, Sheldon World. And Sheldon is back. Sheldon World is back. Welcome, Sheldon. Yajivu. Yajivu Repezad is in South Africa. Oh, are you in South Africa? Oh, it's a difference of 2 hours. Oh, I see. Welcome to the live stream, Yajivu. We are talking about weather today. We are saying when winter comes, I know in South Africa, I don't think you have a long time where you'll be like long winters. I don't think so. So Yajivu is saying, where are you from? I am in the United Kingdom. So Yajivu is saying, she is from South Africa. So I'm asking Yajivu, do you have like long winters in South Africa? Or your winters maybe are just like 2 months? Over here, I think we have how many months? I think our real winter starts like, we can say maybe December or November, I'm not sure. Maybe we can say December, January, February, maybe about 4 months winter. That's why we need to prepare for winter. When you live in the temperate regions, you need to prepare. Eyajivu says, winter is like 3 months, but we never felt it over here. Yes, that's what I'm saying. Because you live in the tropical region. Tropical regions are not very cold as compared to temperate regions. So South Africa is like in the tropical region, and that's why it's warm most of the time. It's very rare for you to say, oh, we are really freezing. But if you are here, sometimes you really feel the cold. Like you feel the cold is just gone in between your flesh and your bones. So you need to keep warm. So that, yeah, you stay, healthy. So we are saying how to keep warm is the main agenda. The main objective today is just to talk about how do we keep warm when the cold comes. What do you do? So I was saying, maybe some people, not everybody, they can start buying like winter like linen for the bed linen. Yeah, it's called bed linen. They can buy a different quality of bed linen, and they put away the lighter one, the summer one, so that they curl themselves in some cozy winter linen, bed linen. Yeah. So after they can buy new sheets for winter, new thicker blankets, and what else? Duvets. There are some lighter duvets, and so there are some thicker, heavy duty duvets. So people will usually buy heavy duty duvets. But as for me, I don't really. I'm one of a kind. I just go by whatever is there. I just use, the light hours, even in winter, you know. I just use any duvet. I don't really mind. But it's advisable if you are like you have the chance, or if it's your liking, you can go for the heavier duvets, and the the winter bed linen. China is saying, oh yeah, Jim was saying, I always thought you was from South Africa. Oh right, that's fine. I can. There's a program on TV we say, which is there's a program I watch. It says location, something like that. I can easily locate location. I'm just joking. So China Z is saying, Sissy, how long will your life last? I do like 2 hours. Yeah, I do 2 hours. So we are on 67. What's left is like 53 minutes to go. So in 53 minutes time, we'll be we'll be going. We'll be going. So it's 2 hours every day. Yeah. China Z, how long do you do your lives? You seem to do longer than me, China Z. How long do you do your lives? If you can tell me, China Z, so that I also copy you. China Z, how long do you do yours? China Z says, okay, sis, yeah. So we are saying that we need to prepare for winter. China Z says, oh, sis, it depends. That's fine. Uh, yeah, that's fine. Yeah. Yeah, because sometimes we have other things to do, so it depends. Yeah, true. So because me, I'm just like a new kid on the block. They call it a new kid on the block. I'm just like new, doing these live streams. So I said, oh, let me just maybe set a goal for this, a few, like 2 months, and try to do like 2 hours. Then after November, I'll see if I can make any adjustments. And China said, yeah, sometimes I do 3 hours. Wow, you pull 3 hours. That's lovely. I heard that the YouTube allows people to do like lives like 11 hours. I heard that like, you can do 11 hours. I wonder what if I could ever. I tried to do like an interactive one, and then I did like a non-interactive one. So do that, maybe you can reach like 11 hours. Chanazi says, sis, I want to sleep. I will leave it running till you end. Oh, that's fine, Chanazi. Yeah, I know you are ahead of time. So it's your time to go for a slumber. Yeah, that's fine. That's fine. Let me wipe my glasses. So we're saying, what do we do? We have talked about the linen that people sometimes, and Chanazi says, blessings. Oh, beautiful, Chanazi. Thank you so much. I really appreciate that beautiful message. You are very kind and caring. So we're saying, after from bed linen, what else do we do? Uh, we can say that it is advisable to have suitable clothing when it is. Oh, thank you, Chanazi, saying running here. Oh, that's beautiful. So it is always advisable when the cold comes that you have to decide what to wear. You know what to wear. You can't go like when it is like the temperatures are like 4 degrees Celsius. Then you go out in a silk. You know silk. The lightest material is silk. You go in a silk like outfit. You can't do that because the cold will affect you. So what do we do? It is advisable that when it is cold, you can wear thin clothes, but you can like wear multiple of them, like you can have a t-shirt, a thin t-shirt, and then have another t-shirt, and then you can have your jumper. So it's advisable that you wear like multiple thin clothes, and because what you want to do is you don't want you want to trap the heat inside. You want to trap the heat inside. So the layers, if you have maybe 2 layers, like uh, especially gentlemen love to wear like vests, and then they wear, maybe some people wear a vest and then they wear a t-shirt and then a shirt, just to trap the heat, to trap the warmth. And this is helpful when it is on a cold day. So it is advisable that if you want, it's your choice. You can wear a vest inside and a t-shirt and then a shirt. Then you'll feel warm, You'll feel warm. Black is still here saying, "Et Mary Z is resident." He says, still supporting in the background. Oh, beautiful. Thank you so much, Black. Thank you. So that's what you can do. So one of the tips is multiple clothes, thin clothes, and then you feel warm, and then you can wear even your jackets, you know. And when we talk about wearing multiple clothes, for example, you cannot like wear a shirt inside and another shirt. No, it's not about the shirts. You can't double shirts because I don't think shirts it's a good idea. What you can do is maybe a vest, a t-shirt, a t-shirt, a vest, and then your shirt. And then some people then wear another cardigan, and then some people wear another, like coat or jackets. This is, I'm talking about the men, they usually do that. This is to trap the warmth. And ladies can also do that. They can wear maybe a shirt inside, and then if they are wearing maybe a long, maybe a short sleeve t-shirt inside, and then they wear a long t-shirt, and some even can then wear maybe a blouse or a shirt, and then you wear your jacket so that you trap the cold, you trap the warmth. So just triple the clothes, triple them, double them, multiple thin clothes. Then other one, what can you wear? We are talking about wearing, what garments we can wear. So we've done wearing multiple garments. Then you can also wear socks when you are in the house. You can wear some socks, or when you are going to work, you can also wear socks, and then you wear your boots. You can wear three-quarter shoes, three-quarter boots, or you can wear the long boots, the high ones. They help you to keep warm. And socks are very good. So when you get after work, you get home, you can have your socks again and some slippers. The indoor slippers. They are really helpful. They protect your feet because the feet are the ones which they easily trap the cold. So you need to cover your feet so that you keep warm. And also, so we're finished about the dressing, and remember the pajamas are also, they do help. And some people, even if they are wearing pajamas, you see them like I've seen, see especially men. They will again put a t-shirt inside the pajamas, and then they wear the pajama. It's good because they want to keep warm. That is multiple dressing. But as for me, I tried many times to, like when I go to bed, to wear socks. I cannot wear socks when I go to bed. Even if it is like freezing, I don't know why. My feet, I just can't wear socks when I go to bed. So what I normally do is, because I cannot wear socks when I go to bed, I will then use maybe a hot water bottle. So you can also look for hot water bottles, but be careful with hot water bottles because sometimes they are like temperamental. And if you don't close them properly, you can see yourself, having some water in your bed sheets. So it's best to make sure the water bottles are secured or are closed properly, you know, are closed properly because the water can spill out. I just have a water bottle here. So because I don't like socks in the night, I'll just, like take this water bottle and just place it on my feet and make sure it is closed like here. This one is closed tightly. Just close it tightly. And they also say that when you are pouring the water in the water bottle, don't like pour the boiling one. When it is like boiling, when the kettle just boils and then you start pouring in the water bottle, it is just for a safety precaution. You can just wait a few minutes so that it is a little bit manageable. Then you put it in your hot water bottle. So that's what you do. People like, most people, people like hot water bottle. But some, they'll just have the central heating. They'll just leave the central heating on throughout the night. Some people do that. So another thing is, so we've talked about hot water bottle, multiple clothes, socks and slippers, and let's come on to like gloves. You can also wear gloves. Some people like wear knitted gloves, and some people wear hats. And some people love there's some the hats which go like they go down and they have a string which goes down to your neck. Just hats. Some people love them. Some people just love the ones which fold here, yeah. So winter hats are a good idea. Rodrigo said, "Hi, can I see your house?" Why you making me laugh? Rodriguez says, "Hi, can I see your house now?" I'm in the middle of Rodrigo. I told you that another day I'll come and say, "Today is the day to show the house." But today, but today, I'm in the middle of like chatting. We are chatting about how to keep ourselves warm because we are now in towards the full winter. So I'm just trying to discuss with you guys about what can we do. The cold is coming so that we keep warm. So about the house, we call it the house tour. House tour. We'll do it another day. Yeah, we will do it another day. I, if you don't mind, just bear with me today. So there will be a day I will say, oh, today is the day to do house tour, but not today again. Yeah, your request is welcome. I really like your request, and yeah, we will consider it. So we are saying you can wear hats, you can wear gloves, you can just put a scarf. I love the scarves. You just put a scarf, around your neck, and you feel the warmth. You trap the warmth, you know. So for clothing, uh, I can quickly again run all through the clothing. Let's start from the pajamas. We said pajamas, multiple clothes, like inside your vest, t-shirts, and pajamas, multiple clothes, hats, gloves, scarves, boots, socks. Oh, there's a lot. There's a lot to wear, which can keep us warm. So all this is about working. But if you are like someone who works like outdoors, oh, my eyes a bit itchy. If you are like someone who works like outdoors, there are some boots, like if you are an electrician, or if you are like another engineers, those who work outside, like maintaining the Wi-Fi's, maintaining um, the Wi-Fi's, the electrical, the stuff, and you work outdoors, working in the garages, you need some warm boots and thick socks, so try to get some warm boots. They call them the workman boots, those will keep you warm, and thick socks, you know, they are really good for winter. So we are done with the clothing. Now let's look at other things we can do. Other things. It's not only clothes. Let's look at the food intake. Food intake. What do we do? What is the best thing to do when the cold comes? Food intake. They say that you need. Oh, before we go to the food intake, I left this one thing. I talked about the water bottle. You can also use blankets. Like when you are after work, you are in the house, and you can use a blanket. There are some people call them throws. I don't know where that name came from. You can use some blankets. Then you can just go to wrap yourself and watch. You'll be watching television, or you'll be just like watching, on your tablet, and you wrap yourself in a warm, cozy. They say the blankets are cozy blankets. So it helps as well to trap the temperature, to trap the warmth, and keep yourself warm in winter. So blankets. So we said multiple clothes. Then let's start with the biggest one. Multiple clothes, blankets, socks, slippers. What else? And then obviously cardigans and jackets, and some people like to wear like track bottoms. All those clothing. They are essential for winter. So, what else do we do in terms of intake, food intake? What is the best thing to do? What do we consume when we are in winter? What is recommended by the dietitians? Well, dietitians are the one who know all about food. So the dietitians usually say, when it's winter, you need to have hot drinks. Yeah. So maybe, for example, some people don't like tea, some people don't like coffee. So what do? They can go into herbal teas. If you like herbal teas, like cinnamon tea or mint tea, or what else? Yeah, the herbal teas, clove tea or ginger tea. You can do those herbals. So you can either have hot tea, hot coffee, herbal teas, and yeah, you can have those. Oh, if you don't like the teas and the herbal teas, you can do some soup. People love to have a bowl of soup. It can, keep you warm. After a day's work, you come home, maybe even before you have your dinner, you can have maybe a hot beverage, Or you can have a bowl of soup, you know, to keep yourself warm and cozy, to trap the heat. So the drinks are really important, the hot drinks in winter. And what else can you have? Even when you have your dinners, try to have like hot meals, hot meals, try to have hot meals. And that will help you to also to feel warm, when you have a hot meal. But sometimes it is hard, it depends where you are. If you're maybe at work, you are working maybe like in the night, sometimes it's hard to get like hot meals. But when you have the chance, try to have some hot meals. They really help with the body temperature, because we want our body temperature to be like at the normal, to be at the normal reading. Yeah, normal reading. And what else do you do, for your body besides the drinks, the hot drinks, the hot meals, the clothing? There's also something which is really important. You must try to stay active. Try, if you are like an able-bodied individual, try to stay active. For able-bodied people, don't just say, oh, it's cold, then you just sit, like, and if you're able-bodied, then you just sit like here, like for many hours. You should once in a while you stand up, maybe you run upstairs if you're upstairs, or maybe you go to the kitchen, you tidy up the dishes. And what else can you do? Maybe you just go to another room and say, oh, let me just change the bed linen. Keep yourself busy. Keep yourself busy. Try to be active during the cold times. And some people, I've seen some people, even if it's cold, they go for walks, And if you have a pet, like a dog, you always need to walk the dog. So that is good, because the dog will give you time to be active. You don't just stay in the house. So staying active is recommended, when the cold finally comes. Yeah. And don't just like care all the suffer, like, oh, today is cold. Then you spend like maybe 5 hours or 4 hours or 3 hours or 2 hours curled in the sofa or curled in your bed. That's not advisable. I mean, those who are able-bodied. Able-bodied people should try to be active in winter. They should try to walk around, do some household chores, whether they are men or women. They should just do some tidying up. What else do we do in the house? We do tidying up, doing the dishes, running upstairs, even if it's cold, and go in the kitchen, pack the, pack put away the cutlery, put away the dishes, go to the room, do some bed linen, maybe start cleaning the bathtub, just stay active. The idea is just to stay active in winter. Yeah, yeah. It seems to be, when I'm talking about it, yeah, it's just a way just to, people, I know people know that they should be active. It's just like a refresher, like when you are at work, they say, oh, you need to go for a refresher course, maybe you are you are working in the health department, and the managers are all saying, oh, you need to go and do like moving and handling, you do it every year, maybe every year you do that, but it's a refresher, you have to do it. Oh, you need to do like life support, when you work in like in the, for example, I'm just giving example, when you will work like in the health industry, they'll tell you, oh, You need to do like fire. Even when you work, like even in any establishment, like everybody should have like a fire certificate, to know how to deal with fire. So like maybe you are like 10 years at a workplace, but every year they say, oh, go and do your fire certificate, go and do your food hygiene certificate, go and do your training. It's a training. Go and renew your certificate, do the fire training, do the food hygiene, do the what else? The basic life support, what else? All those courses. So they are called refresher courses. It means you have done them, but you need to refresh. So the same applies to what I'm talking about today. People know winter, but it's just refreshing. It's just like a refresher. You just to make sure that we still know that, oh, you can double your thin clothes. You can wear, you can make hot drinks. You can have hot meals if possible, or you can wear the hats. You can wear the cardigans. You can wear the boots. You can wear socks, and you can wear slippers. They call them bedroom slippers. Things like that. That's a refresher, so that we are not caught aware when the cold finally comes. So the idea is we want to keep the warmth inside our bodies, our skin. I think it's the skin which gets cold. I don't know how it happens. Yeah, you need to find out. But I think it's the skin. So so it's all about the body. We've talked about the clothing and what to consume. Now let's look at the environment. Our shelters. What should we do in our shelters? you know what should we do in our rooms, to make sure we keep warm. We can start from the outside. If you have an outside door, that door leading you into the house, you need to do something about that door, because that's where the draft comes through. You see, when it's very cold, you feel when you stand by the door leading outside, you feel even under that door there will be like a breeze coming in. So what should you do? If you know it's advisable that you can just like put a rug like underneath the gap of the doorway, so that the draft doesn't like find its way into your house. Well, that's the draft is the one which will make all the rooms cold. Because as what air does, air will come in, and air usually goes like up, you know. So you find, oh, the downstairs is cold. Even upstairs is cold, but the windows are closed. It's because of the draft coming through the door, the main door. Yeah. But maybe some people do have like a rubber thing, which is like it's like, let's say the door is, let's say this is the door, and the door ends here. They have like a rubber thing underneath the bottom edge of the door, so the air will find it difficult to pass through. So if you have a rubber thing under your door, it is a good idea. But if you have no rubber thing under your door, what do? You take a cloth, you just take a cloth, what can you do? Or a rug, and just place it underneath the door like this, so that the air is not going to come in. The draft, it's called a draft. When that air comes in through the door, it's called a draft. So you put some sort of rug to to avoid the air coming in, the draft. Oh, we have a new guest coming in the live stream. It's Main World Dane World. Hello, Main World Dane World. How are you today? It's lovely to see you here. We're talking about the water bottle that we need to keep warm because winter is knocking on the door. And we are saying, underneath the door, if you are lucky to have a house with a rubber thing which can trap, which can drive the air out, that's good. But if you don't have, you need to put maybe a rug, or you can do like DIY. You know what we mean by DIY. DIY is the best ever. You can do DIY. For example, if like me, I think I haven't put any rug yet. So I'm going to do DIY, I'm going to look for some, something, I always find something. Then I'll put it under the door so that at least the house doesn't get cold. At least the draft doesn't come in. So we want to avoid the draft from coming in. So those who are good at DI, oh, you are at an advantage. You just do DIY and you put something under the door and the draft doesn't come in. So we are looking at our shelters, our houses. If yesterday I was talking about houses, that some houses are just like, some modern houses. Houses are different. There are houses which are houses, and there are houses which are also houses. So all houses are houses. I'm just joking. All houses are houses. So if you have this house and there's like a gap underneath the door, underneath the door, there's like a whistling sound coming through the door. We call that draft. So you need to try and block the draft so that your house keeps warm. So that's one idea about the shelter. A tip. It's in a tip. So another tip is that we know we love fresh air. People just we like to open windows. So it's up to you. But as for me, I will maybe have a certain, short period where I open the windows, but mostly because it's going to be very cold, I will close the windows. I'll keep them closed. Maybe I'll open the windows, maybe in a bathroom. But otherwise, most of the windows, I'll just try to keep them closed because I don't want to, this cold to go into my. I don't want it to be affected by the cold. So it is like a tip. Maybe try to close the windows, and when you are like in the house, try to have the doors closed. We don't need them open. Because imagine we are trying to fight the draft, then we open wide the door. Oh, wow. So that means you are just doing against the tips. So close the windows, close the doors, and when like evening time, when evening approaches, for example, nowadays, like 4:30 over here, it is getting dark around 4:30. So that's the time I'll just go round, closing the curtains, because I just want sometimes these window panes, they are just cold. So if you close the curtains, it helps. Close the curtains, close the doors, and make sure you drive away the drafts. And what else can you do to the house? Yeah, I think that's basically okay, what you can do. Some people, what they do, I read that someone has said, oh, when it's like winter, they will like do a bit of baking. That means if you are like, you will be able to pay the bills. You need to think about paying the bills as well. So if you use the oven, you want to use the oven, it means, of course, the house will get warm, but are you able to, to afford, the costs of like constantly using the oven? Yeah, it might help. The house might get warm, but it will come with a price. Some things come with a price. So, do you want the price? Do you want to use the oven and get the price? If you want the price, that's fine. You can always use the oven. Just a quick, cooking, quick baking. Yeah, that's fine. Quick roasting. It helps to make the house warm for a while, for a little while. So otherwise, I can just about the house. I can say close doors, close the windows, close the curtains, and try to drive away the draft from underneath the doors. And what else? Yeah, that's basically about the building. About the building. And some people do have, like, what are they called? Those windows, mm, double glazing. Oh, I nearly forgot. Some people have like windows which are really good. They are called like double glazing. They are like thicker windows. They are also very good. Trying to drive away the coolness. And trying to keep the houses a bit, warm. Double glazed windows. They also help the house to keep warm. So this is what we get. And the other thing about the houses, yeah, some like in most houses, like in here, people are supplied with what is called central heating. You know, it is where the heaters you have heaters in your houses, and you can always switch them on. If you feel the cold has got too much, you can always switch them on. And it helps. The central heating is the ultimatum. you know we can do the dressing, we can do the pajamas, we can do the double the multiple clothing, we can block the draft, we can like close the windows, we can close the doors, we can wear our heads and our gloves, and we can like have a water bottle. But don't come a day when it becomes cold, so cold. So what do you do? What do you do when it becomes so cold? You will need to switch on the central heating. You know. Oh, we have someone coming. And Manuel Delt has given us some love. Wow, thank you, Manuel. She has given us some globe thing. I like that globe thing. It means the world is a village. We are one village. And the globe there is just like rotating, like what the earth does. It rotates on its axis. So that's the globe there. And those are some penguins. Oh, I love penguins. I've never seen them like in real life. So maybe one day, where are they? I think they are in Iceland, Greenland, maybe. I don't know which other countries. I will find out. So she has given us some beautiful penguins there as a way of supporting the live stream. This is Maine. Maine is giving us lots of support there. And she's also giving us some, this the planet there is rotating. You know, that's the reason why we have different weather conditions, because the planet Earth is always rotating. They say it rotates on its axis, and as it is rotating on its axis, it is also like moving like this around the sun. like a revolution. So that's what the earth does. And we are happy to have those emojis. They are beautiful. And we also have a new guest in the house. Welcome. Keeping it. Oh, keeping it. Oh, yeah. He once visited. He once visited here. That name just sounds familiar. So, welcome. Keeping it P. Keeping it P. Welcome. It's keeping it underscore for real. How are you today? And how was your day? And did you have a good time today? So I don't know where you are calling from. Are you connecting? Where are you connecting from? Keeping it. Are you like, are you near a big city? Are you near a big city? If so, what's the city? Or are you near a big town? If so, what's the name of the town? Or if you don't want to say it, it's okay, it's fine. Because today we're just talking about the weather that people in the temperate region are soon going to be experiencing cold. It has already started cooling down. So um, the goal today was just to discuss about how we can keep warm when the cold comes, and it is already knocking on the door. You know, the cold is already knocking on the door. So that was our goal today, just to give we call it a refresher. It's just a refresher. Because everyone, people know. It's like I said earlier, it's like when you go and attend a refresher course. They say, oh, you need to attend a fire training course, so that when there's when there's what can I say? Let me talk about maybe fire, because people go for fire training in all these buildings you see. Everyone should have a fire training course. It is a way to get prepared in case there might be like a short circuit. You know what I mean by short circuit? And maybe a book might catch fire, and then you need to quickly find ways, to quickly how do you deal with that scenario. So you do the training. So the same applies to today. It's just like a refresher, because people know that, oh, when the cold comes, we must make sure the heating is working. We must make sure we close the windows. We close the doors. We limit the draft coming under the doors, and we wear warm clothes. We can double them. You just don't wear a shirt, because you feel the cold. You can double the thin clothes, and then you wear your jackets, you wear your fleeces, and you go for, you can wear boots and socks. And when you come back from work, you can go with your slippers and socks. Some people would say, oh, there are some socks which are called bedroom socks. And some slippers which are suitable for wearing in the around the house. But it doesn't end there. What else should you do when the cold comes? You should try to be active. Don't just cuddle. We love cuddling on the sofas, and we love cuddling in our beds. But the thing is, oh, you need to be active. I think winter time we need to be extra active. I think so. Yeah, I think we should be extra active. But I don't know if I am going to be extra active. Maybe I'll try. Everything is about trying. We should try to be active. So I think uh, I think I should also try to be active, and just find give myself some things to do. There's, oh, I think the milk is, I will nearly run out of milk. Then I can walk to the next, to the little shop and buy some milk. You know, and just do some little bit of exercises, or just indoor ones, But the best ones are maybe indoor activities after work. When we come back from work, yeah, um, we are not going to be watching films like for many hours. We are going to try to be active. It helps the body. It helps, because exercise brings warmth. Imagine what happens when the athletes or the footballers, when they go for exercising, they'll start sweating. So I don't know if I'll be able to sweat in this house, in this house, as I do the exercises. But it's not about sweating. It's just about doing active life, active life. And remember, I'm just saying this for those people who are able-bodied, you know, who can, do the exercises, who can do the household chores and so on. You know, so we are really happy today because we have found this topic. I found it really amazing. That's why I said, oh, why can't we just give a refresher? It's just like a refresher and talk about what we can do to ourselves, to our environment, to our shelters, to our houses, so that we stay warm. We need to keep warm as the winter approaches. We need to keep warm. So all this started from, we uh, we started by, I'm just now giving like where we started today. We started by saying that we live in different climates, and the climates are like some people live in equatorial, some people live in tropical climates, some people have temperate climates, and some people have like a polar. I wonder how those people living in the polar regions feel when the cold finally comes. But the good thing with human beings is that human beings can easily adjust. They easily adjust. Our bodies, like easily adjust. It's like when you first, like when you visit to a polar region, you might say, "Oh, I don't think I will just, stay another night, maybe in Greenland or in Iceland." You just wish to go back to, like to a tropical region. But the human beings are really good. We are good at adjusting. So people who adjust. So we have equatorial region, we have tropical, we have temperate, and we have polar regions. And all these regions have different climates. And what is climate? Climate is about the temperatures, the rainfall, and the sunshine, how the sun shines there. All this is about climate. So as we explore this topic on climate, we have decided, oh, let's just take a part of climate and talk about how to keep warm. So that was our agenda today. We're just talking about how do we keep warm. And before we went to talk about how we keep warm, we just identified that particular, those people with expertise to give us like weather warning, and we called them, oh, the Met Office. And I was saying, the Met Office, I think, I'm just assuming that maybe every country on this planet Earth has a Met Office. And who works in the Met Office? All those specialized, those experts called the meteorologists. They'll be looking at the wind vane, they'll look at the thermometers, they look at the cap anemometer. Those instruments, those are the ones they use to just uh, to just forecast. That's why it's called forecast. Forecast. It's just they think that, oh, because the wind will be traveling at maybe like 15 miles per hour. And then there are some clouds which are forming in the sky. So they give a forecast, of the weather. They tell us about the temperature, the precipitation, the amount of water, and the clouds, the clouds and the showers and everything to do with the weather. They will tell us, they will forecast and tell us. That's why I said I love to watch I love to watch the weather report every day. I just love the weather. I don't know. Maybe I'm addicted to know about the weather. So thereafter, we were discussing about how we keep warm. So I'll just give another refresh, another quick, quick one. We said, how do we keep warm? Let's look at the clothes. We start from the pajamas. We start from the piling, like trebling our the thin clothes, multiple clothes. And we said, oh, we need some hats. We need some cardigans, we need some jerseys, we need some gloves, we need some hats. And we need, when you come into the house, we are just walking around. We need some socks, and we need some slippers. And also there's, what about the food which can help us keep warm? We need hot beverages, and we need like soups, any type of soup. Some people would like, oh, I think I need some will say, oh, let me have some some bean soup. Some people will have some veg soup, some leafy veg soup. Some will have carrot soup. Some will have like a beetroot soup, just to keep yourself warm. And the potato, you can make potato soup. Just chop the potatoes into tiny bits and make a beautiful soup out of them. So hot food and hot meals is advisable. And we also talked about exercising. Let's just leave the couch, and if we are able-bodied, we leave the couch. If it is a cold day, we just do some chores. Find ourselves going up there, down, doing all sorts of household chores. What about the house itself? Draft, block the draft, close the windows, close the doors. Make sure the central heating is working if you have central heating, and you can use rugs on the floor so that you don't tap your feet on cold floors. You know, all those things are really helpful so that we keep warm in the coming cold spell. So I hope you have enjoyed this presentation. It's not a presentation, so it is just like a refresher. I hope you have enjoyed the refresher, and maybe you'll use one of these ideas just to keep warm. Everyone likes warmth. We like warmth, and so it's just to make sure that we keep warm and we keep comfortable. So at this point in time, I just want to thank everybody who has managed to attend the live stream. And I'm just going to read the names of the people who are here. This is just a way of appreciating your presence and beautiful guests. I always have beautiful guests in the live stream. So I'm going to, as I read your name, just know that I'm appreciating your attendance. So we had keeping it P underscore for real was here, and main world day in world, main world day in world. Thank you ever so much for coming. And we also have Ridzi Gortiz. He's still waiting for the house tour. Yeah, it will happen one day. It will happen one day. Thank you, Reed, for coming. And black people, black, thank you for your support. We also had China Z Twist. China Z was here. And who else was here? We were just scrolling. And we had Yejivu. Persadi was here all the way from far away. Thank you, Yajivu. We also had a Sheldon Ward. Sheldon was back in action for supporting Mary Easy Recipes, and which is really awesome. And we had a beautiful friend, Vicky Harvey was here to support as well. Thank you, Vicky Harvey. And Ishwa Mandi was here, and he said, we need to know his name. He's called More Mandi, Ishwa More Mandi. He was here to support the live stream, and Sophia was here as well, and that is beautiful. We also had Only Hope is in Prayer. Only Hope is in Prayer. Dolly was here to support. That is awesome. And who else? We just keep on scrolling and see. It's not me. Dash S was here, and that is awesome. And Moose Gump was here as well. And Jesse came to support. Robert Patrick was also in the live stream. And Alamini Slami was here to support Robert Patrick. I think we've read Robert Patrick. And the first person who entered the house today was Daniel. Daniel Donadio. Daniel Donadio. He was the first individual to join the live stream. So once again, I just want to say I really appreciate everybody's presence.